And welcome to another edition of Carry Out Conversations, the podcast where we eat, sit down, and talk. I'm John.
I'm Noah.
I'm Dave.
And we are coming to you exclusively from an entirely new area. In case you haven't heard, there was a news break here recently where there was a flesh-eating virus that was running rampant through the United States. Don't worry, we are safe. Hope you are too. Right now, we are kind of bunkered into a block room, pretty much. But you know, it gets scary out there, people. Yeah. So be careful.
That was awesome.
Do you like that?
That was awesome. I like that. Yeah, I like that.
All right.
So today we're talking about what were we talking about, Jonathan?
Well, we were talking about staying safe from a flesh-eating virus until you just kind of
I just
broke it off of there. Yeah, you just kind of broke the fourth wall.
It's not breaking the fourth wall. It's a podcast.
Way to go, Deadpool.
Sorry. But that's a huge compliment. Ryan Reynolds is amazing.
If you break the walls, they're going to get in. So
don't break the fourth wall, and the zombies will get in.
That's true. We are talking about zombies today, people, if you haven't told, or you can't tell. We have decided to just have some fun with this one.
Yeah.
The past couple of episodes that we've done have been a little bit on the serious note. Not saying this won't get serious because, hey, we're all going to die. But what?
Speak for yourself. I ain't dying.
We take a dark turn, but for a good reason for once.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's all for a good reason, but it's a fun dark turn.
Yes, it is. Today we were talking about zombies. Now, the question did come up earlier. What kind of zombie are we talking about?
So there's two types of zombies. I mean, there's other types of zombies, but in reality, there's two types of zombies in pop culture. There's Romero zombies from Night of the Living Dead, and there's Walking Dead zombies. Romero zombies, they're ridiculous. They talk, they can run, they can wield axes and weapons in some cases, and they're overpowered. You shoot them 100 times, shoot them in the head a couple times, they'll still come at you.
Oh, well, that would suck.
Yeah. You can't. The only way to defeat a Romero zombie is to chop it up and throw it in a furnace. That's the only way. So, well, for the most part. And then the Walking Dead zombies is pretty simple. Destroy the brain, cut the head off. They're done. So, take one 9mm bullet, send it to the dome. They're done. It's gone. So.
Now, the thing that I have, kind of a discretion with is where you're talking about the Romero zombie. And yeah, that's horrific to think about that, you've got somebody that's coming to eat you, but yet they can use just about every weapon available. And I don't necessarily think that's a zombie. I just think that's a day in Florida. If you don't remember, there were the bath salt cases where, people just, for whatever reason, decided to eat bath salts and, just kind of went crazy.
Well, what was interesting about that is literally at the same time The Walking Dead first came out.
Yep.
And everyone's like, really? People are eating people? This is messed. People were freaking out. They're like, a show comes out about zombies, and now they're zombies.
Yep. Yeah, it's it's always kind of scary, and it's funny too because throughout the years there have been that folklore of zombies, the zombie apocalypse. I mean, you've got, like we said, you got all these movies, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead 2, Night of the Living Dead 3,
The Godfather.
Okay.
With zombies.
The only zombie movies I've actually seen are Zombieland and Zombieland 2.
Very good movies, by the way.
Very underrated.
Very good movies.
The only time where Jesse Eisenberg is good.
Yeah. So, but then you've got all these other, you've got everything that it's everywhere you look, it's zombie stuff. And, for the past few years, with the Walking Dead, it kind of picked up quite a bit. I mean, everybody was you ask people what they wanted to be for Halloween, they want to be a zombie, and stuff like that. And
now there's even special zombie rounds you can buy and, ammo. So.
Yeah.
That is one of my pet peeves with the firearms industry is the overpriced zombie gear. There are like that you can buy like zombie kits, and it's like zombie pepper spray and zombie machete, and it's like, man,
Like, does the pepper spray just make you taste better to the zombie? Like,
it's a seasoning.
Yeah, adds a little bit of seasoning to you. Adds it spicy.
Yeah.
But it's like, and while we were talking, I kind of looked up the definition of what exactly is a zombie, and it is one who looks and behaves like an automaton, which pretty much what an automaton is they have one generic
directive,
yeah, and that's just to thrive.
Yeah.
They're going to eat, things like that. So to kind of kick this off a little bit, it's like, say for instance, there was a case where the zombie apocalypse did start. What would be your first move? Where would you go?
Alaska.
No, I'm gonna organize the zombies. I'm gonna get their ranks in order. All right. We're going to find a replenishable source of human flesh. All right. I'm gonna be like the Elon Musk of the zombie horde. That's my plan.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I'd probably just cry.
So why Alaska, Dave?
It's cold. They're not going to survive very long. And I can go to some remote location.
That's true. I mean, I guess with Alaska, it would be, it's very desolate up there. Even, parts of Canada, like there are parts of Canada that aren't even like, produced. Well, not produced. I don't want to say produced, but
I guess the real question is, how would the zombie thing spread to Hawaii? Hawaii is an island, so
that's true.
Would Hawaii be safe, or would somebody infected fly there and then?
Most likely, it would be somebody infected would fly there, or you get that point of like you get as much of the disease, whatever the disease is, and it gets into the water source. That's a great way to spread. Now, granted, I mean, that's the ocean, so surely it would die off by the time it got to Hawaii.
Hopefully it dissipates.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have zombie sharks, and that just sounds horrifying.
That sounds like a great movie.
Well, that's
zombie shark.
Zombie. I mean, come on, there's Sharknado, so why not zombie shark?
Why not a zombie Sharknado?
It's the best thing that film has ever brought us.
Sharknado?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Never saw it.
No, it's got a really good there's family in it,
And they get eaten by the sharks.
Yeah.
The sharks.
The sharks have they have the best dialogue.
Oh gosh.
No, so like with what you were talking about with water sources, that's one of the interesting things that people don't think about in emergency like doomsday situations.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, how the heck are you going to filter water? Most people don't have more than a life straw. Like, how are you going to filter get water and then take it to a place and purify it?
That's true, especially if the groundwater is contaminated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I know that there are ways to do it. The big point would be getting everybody to still work together. Because that's the main thing. It's like any of these movies that you see, any of these shows, the disasters hit, the first thing that starts to go is the humanity, and they all everybody wants to pit against each other. It's like, if I can make this person get eaten, then it's more stuff for me. But it's like, it's kind of getting it to work together. There are ways to filter out the water. You just got to be a little intuitive. You've got to work.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good idea for everybody, because you can get water filtration equipment. Mm-hmm. They make these really cool. It's almost like a jerry can. It's like a harder plastic, and you just put it in the water, and it has like a built-in filter, and it's like a bacteria filter and all this.
Yeah.
But how many uses can you realistically get out of that?
Oh, hundreds of thousands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Amazon's going to sell out on those once this goes up. Then
no, those things are awesome.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, but instead of building water collecting systems in Africa, we should just be getting them like those. You give 10 of those to a village, they're set.
What if they bless the rains down in Africa?
That's not what that means. It doesn't mean they get rain. It's
Okay, so I have been doing some thinking on this one too, and I think my very first move, and it's going to be weird, my very first move is IKEA. Go to IKEA. And here's the reason why. The zombie apocalypse hits, a disaster, whatever, hits. First thing people go for are the food. You know, you go for the food, you go for the water, you go for the gas. You know, they go for the stuff that everybody's like is, you know, whatever everybody's going to fight for.
Right.
Okay. Nobody's thinking about going to a furniture store that is 90% set up with everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it.
Couches, chairs.
Yeah. You've got a bed, you've got a couch, you've got chairs, you know, multiple things. You don't have to sleep on the same bed more than once. You know, it has a fully functioning kitchen. If
true.
you've ever really seen, you know, been to the IKEA, like up here by us or, you know, any other ones, they have a full functioning kitchen. Now, the food's gonna to run low at some point. You know, you're gonna run out of food. But by that time, you're fortified in. You can easily send some people out. You know, anytime you go to an IKEA, there's always restaurants nearby.
This is true.
You can easily just pick off a little bit of food. You can make it to where it'll last a little bit longer. Plus, with all of the boxes and stuff of all of the crap you got to put together, you try to put one of those beds together by yourself, you're going to get mad. You're going to break it all to pieces. There's your sticks for spears to fight off the zombies. I mean,
and a barricade.
And the barricade.
It's like you have unlimited particle board.
Exactly.
This is true.
Exactly.
It's a huge warehouse full of furniture, full of bookshelves and dressers. And
Yeah.
Unlimited particle board. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, there's multiple uses for it. And I've thought about that. Like every time I go to IKEA, I'm like, this would be a great zombie shelter, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the other thing is it's large, so you can farm.
It's very true.
Very easily.
It's very true.
I mean, like you get up on the roof, you have all that space up there. It's like throw down some soil, make some carrots, some potatoes. I mean, you can live on potatoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah. No, I really like that idea. Yeah, I think my main concern would be weapons and water, because if I have weapons and water, I can get food.
Yeah.
That's kind of my thinking. With what a lot of people do when they prep is they're like, people prep really dumb. They're like, oh, I'm going to buy a ton of oats. I'm gonna get like cans of chicken. I'm gonna get a ton of water bottles and toilet paper. It's like, okay, I would just get water filters and like seeds and ammo and like hunting equipment and shit like that, or stuff like that. And man, my voice is kind of what's that term? I need you to read my mind right now.
Horse.
Thank you. Horse.
Gotcha.
There's a little horse there. No, yeah, I think that like a lot of the ways people think of preparation is a lot different than how preparation actually looks like when you get down to it.
Oh yeah. You know, I mean, it's like you said, there's these kits, like zombie kits, and not just like the firearms dealers. There's Walmarts that have zombie prepared kits, or like, you know, like these doomsday kits and stuff like that. I have a couple of family members that are doomsday preppers, basically. Like they have a little bit of everything stocked up just in case something happens. And you know it would be a good doomsday kit from Knight Rider. That could be a good. He would drive straight through the zombie hordes. That's very true.
How if he runs out of gas?
He was electric, wasn't he? I don't remember. Yeah,
but he better not be.
Okay, so here's another one, and we kind of brought this up earlier. Gas. All right, everybody goes for gas. Now, think about it in this moment in time. we're all starting to move towards electric cars. The first thing that's going to shut off is going to be the electricity. Why, I don't know. I never quite understood that. Like anytime there's a natural disaster or like, well, not natural disaster, anytime there's an apocalyptic disaster, they always shut the electricity off. And I want to know why. Because you would think it's like if you have electricity, more people would be able to survive.
Yeah. My survival strategy depends on it, so I need it to keep kicking.
Wait, what do you mean? With your Alaska plan? Or
No. So I'm going to put a bunch of outdoor speakers around my house. And as we know, that zombies cannot resist the sound of Michael Jackson's Thriller. So my plan is to just play that song on an endless loop. So all the zombies are around my house entranced and dancing, and they won't be attacking me. I can just walk right through them and start picking them off with an axe.
Wow.
Problem with that, they don't dance to Thriller. They will be drawn by the noise, though, and then they'll just eat you.
Although you could be like the Pied Piper, just get in your car with a speaker in the back and just drive them right out of town.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I've done things similar.
You've driven people out of town with music?
No, but I've hooked big speakers up to my car before.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, if you for those who don't know, Dave has a karaoke kit for his car that
Yes.
he likes to bring out every once in a while.
It's entirely car powered.
That's really cool, actually.
I mean,
Yeah.
It works.
It's really just a proof of concept. It's not finalized, but yeah it worked.
But yeah, like I look at these shows and stuff like that. And, everybody goes out and they get the gas for the car, and you see they're fighting for gas, they're siphoning off gas, and something that I've never quite seen is not a lot of diesel engines get used.
Oh, that's a good point.
And it's like, and it kind of it brings me to another little point here that I want to talk about too, is weapons. Noah had asked a question earlier, and so I want to ask you, Dave, first.
Okay.
What would be your choice of weapon in the apocalypse?
Oh, that's a good one. Probably a sawed-off shotgun,
Okay.
because there's no reason for that weapon to exist except to cause destruction.
True.
So it will cause a huge wake of destruction directly in front of me.
Mm-hmm. The question that I have for that is, what happens when your ammo runs out?
It's a club.
Okay, that's a good one. Noah?
So the thing is we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to be facing? Are we going to be facing zombies, or are we going to be facing people? The answer is probably both.
Yes.
So for the zombies, you could pick something as simple as a metal bat, whack them, done.
True.
Or something like a pretty light but durable axe or something like that. Heck, even a good tactical knife. I mean, just stab them in the head.
It's a little close.
Eventually, once you'll get to the point where zombies are a non-issue, because here's the thing: they're slow, and you just thwack them, and they're dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So we're smarter than them, we're faster than them, and we can kill them pretty easily.
I don't know if they can dance to Michael Jackson. They're not that slow.
They can't. So
You've also obviously never seen Thriller.
I've seen the Thriller thing, but it's not. It's not the zombies we're talking about. We've agreed that we're talking about Walking Dead zombies.
You don't know that.
We discussed what zombies we were talking about at the beginning of the show.
Have they actually tried playing that song in The Walking Dead? It might work.
It doesn't.
That's like season 14. That's like the final season. They finally realize how to take care of the zombies.
So if I had to have a weapon
Mm-hmm.
for the whole apocalypse, it's going to be a 10.3 inch AR, Daniel Defense, with a silencer. So it's small, so I can move through houses easily,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a silencer, so I'm not drawing as much noise from zombies.
Okay.
So obviously it's still going to be loud, still going to attract a lot of attention with that. But here's the thing. My main concern is not zombies, it's people.
True.
Because here's the thing. That's my primary. But you asked if I could only have one.
Mm-hmm.
The reality of the fact is I'm not just going to have one. I'm going to have multiple. So,
well, I think more along the lines of not just necessarily one, but what would be your go-to? Like, what would be your choice?
yeah, DAR.
Like, if you could have one weapon that you don't have right now, or anything.
That one, it's the $3,000 AR.
Yeah,
I really want it.
Yeah.
For Christmas, Santa, please.
Mine is a lot different than what Noah said, and quite a little bit different than yours. I want a tank.
Oh, I like where you're going with that.
And here's my reason why. Again, go back to the IKEA thing. Okay. You've got diesel. There's diesel everywhere. Okay. Diesel will last for quite a while before it actually starts to break down and becomes unusable.
Yeah, because we learned just by where we work that gas breaks down after a month.
Yeah, about a month.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah, diesel lasts close up to 4 to 5 months before you have any form of deterioration. Technically, for small equipment diesels, like the ones we work on, around the 4-month mark is when you want to start changing your diesel out. Mm-hmm. For the trucks and things like that, tank, for example, it'll run on just about anything. Old diesel,
vegetable oil.
Oil. You know, if you all you have to do is add a little bit of like an oil sedative to it,
really,
and it will work.
It will run on urine.
Yes.
Dude.
It will run on water up to a certain point, but again, like I said, you have to have a little bit of the oil base for it as well.
Here's a thought: why aren't people making diesel engines and just mixing a little bit of vegetable oil with water?
Well, because the one person who did anything like that, died under mysterious circumstances.
We're not going to get into the government conspiracies.
Yeah, we're not going to get into the government conspiracy type thing, but yeah, that has been in the work, and it gets shut down quite a bit in very weird ways. But you have your tank, you have your ammo, okay, your big shells that you have for however long. Mm-hmm. After that point, you go to IKEA. Okay, all you got to do is make a bag filled with all the little nuts and bolts out of these kits, and you shove it in that
the barrel.
Yeah, that 15-foot barrel, and suddenly you have a 300-ton shotgun.
His might be a little larger than yours, Dave.
That reminds me of the Pirates of the Caribbean scene where they're loading like the silverware into the cannons.
It's exactly where I got that idea from.
Don't they accidentally put the guy's glass eye in?
It's like a wooden eye. Yeah. Or he gets shot and he ends up getting like a fork stuck in the eye.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, the whiskey flask that got loaded.
Yes, the whiskey flask did get loaded in there.
So speaking of Pirates of the Caribbean, what about a ship?
A ship?
A ship.
You would have to almost live out there.
Yeah.
And then you've got weather. And I know, pirates and people like that, they do that all the time. But, it's like you would have to live on the boat.
Yeah, none of us are expert, sea captains, so
right.
We're not going to know how to navigate that weather, and it gets really treacherous out there.
Not to mention nowadays, they all run off of gas or, at least like generators. I guess it depends on the type of boat.
You get a sailboat.
I wonder if the global positioning system would continue to work, because those are just geosynchronous satellites pointing back at us.
That's very true.
So if I have some electricity to run a GPS unit, I wonder, or are they reliant on something on the ground to function properly? Because then if the power grid goes out, then they might go out too.
That's a good question. It's one I've never quite thought about either, because we've talked about it before, like in more serious conversations of how, a bomb or whatever can wipe out pretty much half of our electrical grid. But it's like, would that affect the satellites? And then, I know when you get into like the zombie apocalypse, like we were talking about, it doesn't have anything to do with a bomb until people start dropping bombs, because that's going to be the go-to of, how to kill them all.
Yeah.
But it's
we should go live out in space. There's no zombies in space.
Yeah.
No, but there's Jason.
Oh no, that is the dumbest movie. It's like, guys, we've made too many Friday the 13th movies. What should we do? It's like space.
I mean,
no, there's nothing about that that's good. Have you seen the movie?
Yes.
It's awful.
Well,
it's one of those. It's so bad, it's good.
No.
It's
It wasn't
bad.
even. It
It's
wasn't
just
even
bad.
good.
If
But
you're
see, then if you get out in space, then you've got other problems. You've got the aliens
And the food.
and food. Yeah, I can't really get out in food.
And how does the zombie virus transmit to the space station? I wonder.
Well, it doesn't, but you're gonna starve to death.
Because there's
true.
no longer any ground support. No one's coming to get you.
Yeah,
That's very true.
And
You would have to rely on the power source, the water, the water supply, or at least the filtration system, which hopefully
Sooner or later that will fail or no longer be viable.
You'll need maintenance, but the parts are on Earth.
Yeah.
It's like, that's a bad day.
Yeah. that would kind of suck. I think.
That actually sounds like a nightmare, like you're trapped.
Yeah. So all the vehicles we talked about so far have been very like heavy, like boats, tanks, spaceship, cars. Like, what about lighter vehicles like mopeds?
The problem with mopeds, there's no security.
Yeah, you're exposed completely.
But
And they are loud.
they are loud. Same with motorcycles.
Yes.
And electric bikes, stuff like that. They're still loud.
Now, if you ask Daryl, then, motorcycle's the way to go.
Yeah.
But I've never really ridden a motorcycle like that, so I couldn't be able to tell.
I want a giant riding lawnmower so I can just mow over the zombies.
Yeah. Why not a tractor? A diesel tractor. You can still keep your diesel idea.
That's true.
True.
Use the loader to kill zombies.
They are kind of slow, though. That's the only problem.
Get a really big zero turn.
As long as it's not a deer, because nothing breaks like a deer.
Nothing breaks like a deer.
Not a sponsor.
Gosh, no, we're
Not
insulting
after saying that.
We're insulting them.
Definitely not after this one. Honestly, I don't know that I would want anything light. I mean, yeah, you would kind of want something lightweight, so that way, like, if the tank idea blew back in your face, or it's like
Hopefully
you had
not
to make
literally.
Yeah,
'cause
hopefully
you're
not
dead.
literally,
You can put it in your tank.
and shoot yourself out.
Yeah, and like, or get one of those like electric razor scooters, dude.
That could be an idea,
Be able to outrun the zombies, be able to dodge bullets.
right?
Dodge bullets on a razor scooter?
Yeah. You ever seen Codename Kid Next Door?
Oh gosh,
No.
Well, they dodge bullets on razor scooters, but the bullets are gumballs.
Why would I want to dodge gumballs? I like gumballs.
Well, they're going at speeds that can kill you.
Okay, so there's another idea for a weapon.
Gumballs?
Well, paintball gun.
Oh, but that wouldn't really kill
wouldn't kill 'em.
anything.
You freeze those suckers, it will. And then when they run out, you put in gumballs or M&Ms. Those things shoot out fast enough. You hit somebody just right, it could hurt.
You get it to a certain
It could
velocity,
hurt.
it's just
I
going
like
to break
how you
apart.
said it could hurt. Because even if you have them hardened, it's not going to kill. Like, think about it. How fast is a paintball gun going if you had to guess feet per second? Here.
You gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'm going to look it up.
All right. He's gonna look it up.
Because a 9mm is going to go like around 2,000 feet per second.
Yes.
So let's see here. Paintball max.
See, I just look at it as, not necessarily like what is going to take care of the problem right away. It's what can I use further down the road when there's nothing left. Because 9mm bullets are going to run out. It doesn't matter how many times you can, refill them
Yep.
they're going to run out.
Plus, most people suck at refilling, so.
Right. And most people suck at shooting too. I mean, like, yeah, there are marksman shooters, and I have nothing, say nothing wrong against them or anything like that. But if you've got somebody coming at you that's trying to bite you, I don't think one shot's just going to do it. It's going to be...
And you're not going to be calm in that moment, so
Right.
you're going to have a harder time aiming.
So the one thing I will say, though, is the difference between people, not just people who have been in, like, stressful situations with firearms before, but most people who own firearms don't know how to use them and don't train with them regularly. And when they can't get to the range, they don't dry fire.
Mm-hmm.
They're not practicing presentation. They're not dry firing. They're not going to the range. Like, most people who own guns suck with guns. So I think it'd be a good thing to be very, very proficient with firearms. And then even if you're very good with a firearm, you're not always using your gun,
Mm-hmm.
So you're not always going to be using your firearm. It might be like, hey, I fell and part of my upper receiver is broken now and I got to pick up this random guy's gun. So being proficient with firearms in general is going to be a beneficial skill.
Well, yeah, but, and we don't want to get political again, but the way things go is everybody's against guns, so,
Those are the people who die first.
Get good scrub.
Yes. Can you imagine the people that are, like, against guns and everything, and they're against violence, and
the only way to survive is guns and violence.
They
the
die.
zombie horde starts coming towards them, and they're like, use your words, people. Ow, you're biting me. Yeah.
Charlie, use your words.
Charlie bit me.
Charlie,
Thankfully, a lot of the stupid people will weed themselves out. They'll either get attacked or they'll try to hoard gasoline in shopping bags, and they'll eventually set themselves on fire.
That's very true. Very true. It'd be a very bad day.
gasoline and shopping bags.
People did it, dude.
When?
Yes.
During COVID?
Yeah.
Yeah. During the whole, like, gas hike, when gas started, like, jumping up, everybody was running out trying to hoard gas. And there are pictures of people, like, putting it in trash bags, putting it in the plastic totes, and sticking it in the backseat of their car.
Because that's where you want a loose container of gasoline,
Right.
is in the same space where you're breathing.
Right. And, of course, the people at the gas station and everything, they weren't going to say anything because they're making money off of it. They don't care,
Yeah.
and I think that's part of the thing there too, is like how do we set up like a bartering system? Because when stuff like that happens, cash is not really going to have much of a value.
Yeah, it's useless.
Yeah, and it's like
At that
you're
point.
going to have to start getting to the point of, if you want something, you either take it by force or you set up a bartering system, which you risk losing very valuable, valuable objects that you need, to survive.
Yeah. Trading will have to happen. The one thing I would say is, like, in preparation for emergency situations, I think it's a good idea to have a little silver and a little gold. Because here's the thing. US dollar hits zero, gold still has value.
To whom, though?
Yeah.
Well, everybody.
Well, if everybody's basically dead.
If all world economies have just collapsed and no currency has any value, what good is gold going to do me?
Same thing it's always had. So, for example, gold and silver was originally not used by governments. It was originally used by merchants. Merchants were the ones who invented the idea of currency that we have today. So people in need will recognize that to have value. Humans have recognized gold and silver to have value apart from governments for thousands of years, and they're going to continue to do it because whenever governments collapse, those things are still used.
But
And if someone doesn't want to trade, that's fine. You just take their stuff.
the gold and silver, I can't eat the gold and silver. I can't farm with the gold and silver.
but
I
you-
can't actually use it in any practical
No, but
way.
you can trade it for food. You can trade it for ammo.
But what's the person who's got the food and the ammo going to do with it? They don't want it
Trade
either.
They're going to trade it.
But see, if they're smart enough, they're going to know that, it's going to make its way around as far, and I get your idea. I see your idea of, having that trade system of the gold and the silver and having something of a value. But the thing about it, the hole in that theory is you go to one person and say, I will give you 4 pieces of gold for a bottle of water. And that guy's dumb enough to say, oh, okay. And he gives you a bottle of water. Then he goes to the next person and he's like, I'll give you 4 pieces of gold for a bottle of water. That next person is going to look at that and be like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
I would rather have the water because that's what I need to survive.
Yeah, but that's the case with all bartering. Like, if I have a ton of medical supplies, but you need food, we can't really help each other.
You can if you decide to be humanistic about it and you work on it. The problem with like a actual value system is the idea of having it once society has picked back up, which eventually it would, then you have the upper hand, because then once you start to start setting up governments and stuff like that, okay, you are now the rich person because you have all the gold, you have all the silver, whatever.
Well, I would plan on like lasting, right? So the goal of the zombie apocalypse is to survive up until that point.
It's that easy. You have to plan on lasting.
Plan to survive.
Get good, scrub. That's my advice. Because here's the thing, and it's hard to say, but if you suck, you suck.
Yeah.
True. True. Now, one good thing about having gold and silver is you can melt them down into weapons if you need to.
True.
Gold sword. That's what I'll need for the apocalypse.
But you need
and
silver,
for Minecrafting.
You need silver bullets for vampires, not zombies.
There's not vampires.
No, you need silver bullets for werewolves.
Oh, it's werewolves.
Yeah.
Sorry. What kill? Oh, that's the wooden stake.
Yeah, wooden stake to the heart. IKEA. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, he's prepared.
Yeah.
And there's got to be some silver stuff in IKEA.
I'm sure
melt
there is.
down and.
Yeah. I'm sure there is somewhere around there.
It's all aluminum.
No.
Well, that's true. But even then,
That's like, okay, it's funny that you said something about aluminum. I did something really funny last night. I was like watching compilations of people melting down cans and forging them into aluminum bars. And I don't know why, but it was like so interesting to me. I'm like, this is the best thing a person can do with their time.
Oh, wow.
Because you're taking something pointless and you're making it into something less pointless. Still probably pointless.
Yeah, it's still pointless. It just took a little bit more time.
I can't trade an aluminum bar for food or ammo, so.
Not true. That's not true. You can actually mill that aluminum bar into a AR lower, and then we're not getting into that.
Because I have a machine shop to do that.
And once they drop the atomic bombs and we all turn into Fallout, then you can use the bottle caps.
Uh-huh.
The aluminum bottle caps for that.
You're right. I shouldn't save gold and silver. I should get bottle caps.
Yeah. This is a very odd conversation that we're having here, but it's a lot of fun that I think. So I do want to get to one slightly serious point here. And it's not going to be much, but I want to know your opinion on this. You have your family with you.
Oh, this dilemma.
And one of them gets bitten. Mm-hmm. And you have to make the decision of whether to hopefully they survive. If you've seen any of these movies and stuff like that, you just chop off the place where they got bitten at, hopefully the arm or the leg, and there's a chance of survival. Or do you end their life before they turn? And go.
So there's this really great book called Of Mice and Men.
Oh yeah,
and
I remember that.
It's the sad thing where, let's say it's my son. Okay. And he's bit. I'm gonna look at him. I'm gonna tell him to face the wall. I'm gonna read him his last rites. I don't know if you guys believe in last rites or not, but I'd give him his last rites, like say a small prayer, and then I'd pop him. Because here's the thing. He's already dead. Mm-hmm. It's not there's no cure. He's dead. Second you're bit, you're dead. So
rather go out while they're still conscious and instead of letting them turn into,
And if a zombie was like actively eating them, like ripping their neck out, I would shoot them to put them out of their misery.
Oh yeah, that one's kind of a given.
And shoot the zombie.
No, he earned it. Okay.
Wow. I think that one would be hard because of the fact of, you want to put them out of their misery before they turn. You want to, you don't want to prolong their suffering. At the same time, that's a family member that you've grown up with, that you've lived with, that you've given love to, supported, and things like that. That's what makes it hard, I think. And I
but at the same time, your own survival potentially depends on you getting rid of them.
And you got to learn how to dissociate.
Yeah. And I think once we actually reach that point, it will be, a thing. And and I think about it, like, and I know we've made references to it, but I think about, there's a scene in The Walking Dead first season where there is a gentleman that's in the house.
Jim.
He's with his son, and every day he goes up to the second floor and he's looking out with his gun, looking out for survivors and things like that. And he sees his wife that's been turned. And every day she walks up to the house like she's cognitive, like she remembers something. And it's like every day he points the gun, getting ready to shoot, but he can't do it. Because that is somebody that he loved so much. And I kind of think like that's almost where I would be. Like if somebody that I really, really loved did get bit, I would just like, I'm going to set you free. And
you can feed the rabbits, George.
Let somebody else kill them.
Yeah.
Well, there's not always
somebody else's problem.
There's not always time. So, do you guys know who Gary Vaynerchuk is?
No.
Okay. He's kind of like this money influencer guy. And he went on like this talk for like youth, like young people. And he's like, the reason you won't succeed is you got to wake up every day and think about killing your family. It's like, because if you're not willing to kill your family and go through that pain, you're not ready to succeed in this life. And so I've been living by that advice.
Good.
For 3 years now. And I'll be honest, it's really like helped me be okay with killing people.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
So I want you guys to all know that. And so I'm ready for the apocalypse.
Last episode it was Hillary and her satellites, and this time we've got the FBI watching.
Yeah, my middle name is
now.
My middle name is Dahmer. So.
Oh. Oh. It's hard to imagine because we know that this is most likely never going to happen. Not in the sense of,
don't jinx us on the zombie apocalypse.
Not in the sense of,
we jinx ourselves every week. So.
That's very true. Not in the sense of how we think about it or how like TV and movies portray it being. I think, especially down south. Okay, here's a question that I have for you guys. Why does it always happen in the most populated cities? It always starts off in the middle of New York City or Los Angeles or Vegas or, anything like that. It's always like the more populated cities that stuff like this happen at. Why doesn't it happen like in the middle of Nebraska?
Because it would probably be extinguished easily if it was one or two people in the middle of some farmland somewhere.
Billy Bob will just pop them.
Yeah.
It's over.
It's very true.
It has to be be in like a place with farm restrictions and a low population and like a high population.
Yeah. The more dense the population, the quicker it's going to spread, and that's
true.
That's sadly very true for something more recent, but something that actually did happen.
Yeah. Well, and so the other thing with cities is cities are evil. And so the zombies are sent by God to punish the cities.
Oh, that's why.
Right. So it's like California, LA, you guys are pretty,
New movie idea. God sends zombies to Earth.
Well, I mean,
to take out the wicked.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's about the only one they haven't done yet.
We haven't done that one yet.
I mean,
we already did Sodom and Gomorrah. It's like zombie time, dude.
Oof.
Do something new.
Where's Zombie NATO?
Where's Zombie NATO?
Zombie NATO.
That sounds awful.
Yes.
You thought NATO was bad? Try Zombie NATO.
Oof.
Zombie Putin.
Oh, you're saying Zombie NATO. Like
what? Oh, Zombie NATO.
Zombie NATO, yes.
Oh,
completely different.
I'm like, yeah, Zombie NATO. I'm about to get into.
Both are pretty bad, I guess.
Yes.
I was about to get into Polish politics with zombies.
Oh god.
Okay.
Poland's awesome.
So here's another question that I have for you guys.
Okay.
And again, and I know we didn't really throw any warning content on us on this because this is just fun to talk about. If you came looking for anything more of a serious note, you are
this is not the episode to listen
sorely
to.
Disappointed in this.
I'm actually concerned about what you're about to ask.
How do you kill a zombie?
What do you mean?
That's what I want to ask.
How do you do it?
Yeah.
You destroy the brain.
Okay. Is that your thought?
Pretty much, or at least separate the, break the neck, separate the brain from the nervous system.
Okay.
If they can't move anymore, they're not much of a threat.
True. See, and you look at all these, again, Hollywood's what's taught us anything about zombies. If you chop off the head still performs normally. It still functions. It still does stuff like that. But, and it's my thought on it, and I talked to Noah about this because, Dave, you're out of the room at the time, is that when you sever the head from the body, you are severing the spinal column. You're severing the brain stem from the rest of the body, which the brain stem, as anybody knows, is the main function of the body.
Yeah.
So why does that not work in The Walking Dead, or anything like that? You see dismembered heads rolling and they're still trying to chomp at people while they're bouncing, or whatever.
It's fiction, man. They're not basing it on science.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
science fiction.
Ooh, he's got you there. But it's at the same time, it's is that going to be the real thing? Is that going to be the real case of we have to, disembody the head in order to, survive, or is it going to be anything?
I think if you shoot them in the brain, they'll probably still die. But it might just be a brain stem thing. It might not just be just destroying the head at any point, but it's probably a specific part of the head, like what you're saying. So yeah, I do think that that's more viable.
Sawed-off shotgun.
No.
Sawed-off shotgun, that's the answer to everything.
Okay, if I had to pick a shotgun for the apocalypse, I'm going to get a nice over-under. Because those are...
Sawed-off shotgun to the forehead. There won't be anything left.
Why would you do a sawed-off shotgun?
Because they're cool.
Just get a trench gun. Just it's literally a war crime stick. It's awesome.
War crime stick.
No, seriously. So that was the thing. Is in World War I, the Germans were fighting these British dudes who were shooting these super heavy rifles. So it was a cleaner kill because you get hit and you're just gone real quick, And these Americans were showing up with these buckshot shotguns and just coming through and blowing arms off. Wow. And it's they just sent 19-year-olds over there with shotguns and were hey, take care of it. And they did.
I mean, you got to think about it. They were a bunch of farm boys that they grew up with shotguns. So it's what better way to...
Well, seriously, because they obviously, a lot of them also had bolt action rifles.
Right.
But for a lot of engagements, they would equip them just with shotguns that had bayonet attachments. It's do you know how brutal that is?
Well, if we're talking about science fiction, let's go with pinpoint space lasers. If I have a remote that can vaporize my enemy from, up above, then problem solved.
Dave, we were talking about zombies. We are not. This is a serious discussion. We are not talking about lasers. We're talking about facts of the biology of fake things.
I mean,
Unless
a real
it's a shark with a freaking laser on its head.
Shark laser, bro.
I mean, a real high-powered laser actually could vaporize someone, but
That's very true.
Not yet. Well, actually, they've equipped certain they've equipped like aircraft carriers with laser weapons now. So
we should get one.
no. Yeah, Dave. Give me $2 billion. I'll be happy to do that.
Well, I mean, after the zombies attack, the military bases are pretty much going to be open,
That's very true.
So we'll just walk on there and
just walk in there and take it.
One of the things that bothers me about all these like zombie movies is they're like, we got to get to the military base, and then they get there and it's overrun. How did it get overrun? And like all these like cars are blown up and on fire. I'm like, who blew up the cars? It's like
that's true. Aren't military bases designed to lock down and seal themselves?
Yeah,
in such events.
For most like high like max security military bases that are like well guarded, couple guys, like if you just have 30 guys with sniper rifles and a good wall, you're set. They're not getting in.
That's what castles were for.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I want a castle.
That would be
your weapon.
A castle is
you
a
could
weapon.
Have one
yes.
weapon for the zombie apocalypse would be a castle.
Problem solved.
I like that idea.
With a moat.
No, you're gonna ruin your water.
Well,
but that wouldn't be my
that's
drinking water.
Gosh,
that's not what moats are for.
That's actually a good idea. If you were able to dig a hole deep enough and like put spikes. Well, not put spikes. I don't know where you'd buy spikes, but make like.
You're gonna melt your aluminum cans.
Yes, I'm gonna melt my cans down
and
make weapons out of them. No, but like you put stuff like sharp stuff at the bottom of it. You dig a hole around your house, and then you just, if you ever need to get it out, you just.
I was just gonna fill it with crocodiles.
Throw it to. Where are you getting crocodiles? You can't, like, your aluminum can is not gonna trade to the value of a crocodile.
Where did I get a castle from? Like
exactly. If he's got a castle, he can get crocodiles.
I can get some crocodiles.
You got it from the castle store.
Castle store.
Where all castles come from.
If you come to IKEA, we have enough materials. We can just build you one.
Turn the IKEA into a castle.
There you go.
Dig a moat around the IKEA. We're set.
I'm telling you guys, IKEA is the place to go.
Jonathan's got the right idea.
Forget. Sam's Club and those types of things. No, IKEA.
Sam's Club would be awesome because they have those like super high shelves.
True.
You just live up there. Like you connect them all.
But I think that's going to be that'd be the first thing people would go to though.
Sam's Club?
Sam's Club or like Costco, because bulk food.
So I guess the real question is, you just talked about taking out a family member. What about taking out complete strangers who are trying to hoard your food?
Oh, no problem.
Or trying to steal? Yeah.
No problem.
Gun them down?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's for the survival of me and my family, yeah. No, without question.
Yeah.
I mean,
unless they're really hot.
Okay.
Then I'll like kind of care after I kill them.
Wow.
Well, what? Pretty people deserve last rites.
Yeah, but they usually die first too.
Yeah.
No, because they got to keep the pretty people around for the views.
Honestly, I think the epidemic of stupid people is going to outweigh the epidemic of zombies.
I think so too. And if the zombies feed off of brains, they're going to kind of get screwed.
Well, that's why you actually need to go to Sam's Club, because all the zombies are going to be the dumb zombies. These aren't the smart super soldier zombies. These are the I get a hot dog at Sam's Club zombies.
I mean, if there are super soldier zombies, the human race is not surviving.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing is, like, in all these other forms of media, there are super soldier zombies, like Left 4 Dead and these other video games.
Mm-hmm. Great video game, by the way.
Really good video game. But it's like, yeah, if one of those massive zombies just like runs up and like grabs you and chokeslams you, like you're done.
Oh yeah, obviously.
And they eat bullets. Like you shoot them, they don't die.
If anyone does that to you, you're done. It doesn't have to be a zombie.
It's very true. I mean, if they can do that. I don't
So
remember.
we addressed food, we addressed weapons, we addressed travel, we addressed the castle and the moat.
IKEA.
Well, there's one more factor to the zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
People get so caught up in surviving that they forget about living. You know, so like when you watch shows like The Walking Dead, there's at least once or twice a season, there's really simple moments where people are they're in a safe place, they're just sharing a meal together, or someone's playing a guitar and everyone's just quiet around a campfire, something like that. Like there has to be some enjoyment to life within that, or you're gonna lose it.
I think there has to be. At the same time, there needs to be that equalizer of, you can have fun or you can have your peaceful moment, but don't lull yourself into forgetting what you're trying to do, which
you
is
have to keep
survive.
your guard up.
Right. And I understand that. But what I mean is the world is going to, in this scenario, you're not going to have most people aren't going to have the chance to worry about having fun because they're going to be stressed all the time trying not to die.
Right.
So those few moments where you can, like having that be at least the thought in your mind is setting apart times of relaxation or entertainment of some sort.
Well, that's a key tenet in Zombieland. It's enjoy the little things. I can't remember what rule number it was, but
Me neither.
I don't remember either.
But yeah, because you're
now I
gonna
want
go
a Twinkie.
because you're gonna go.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
What was the one he kept finding instead
Snowballs.
of Twinkies?
Snowballs.
Snowballs
Snowballs.
suck. They suck.
It's not the taste, it's the consistency.
Thank you, he said.
I love Snowballs.
That guy's one of my favorite actors, and I don't know his name.
Woody Harrelson?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson.
Wow.
He was on Cheers.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's where he started from, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Yeah, he's
Cheers is a sad show.
when you really break it down, it kind of is.
Well, what is it? It's guys working jobs they hate, in relationships they don't like, with children they don't like, drinking at a bar they kind of like.
And everybody knows them because they're there all the time.
Yeah, the show is literally just two drunk dudes sitting at a bar like, hey, everybody knows our name.
Like the theme song.
Yeah.
Well, I think, too, is a problem that we're going to have if this does happen is people finding that time and that motivation to enjoy the little things. Because what are people so obsessed with right now?
Their
phones, computers, video games, TV, all of that stuff goes away.
Yeah, all of it.
A lot of people are just going to kill themselves.
Yeah, because they're not going to know what to do. It's like that's part of the whole thing of, trying to survive is like the people, once the internet goes down, I don't know what to do. I can't look anything up. I can't figure out what to,
And it's
How
okay
to
to laugh
kill
at these
zombie.
people.
Yeah.
Siri, how do I kill a zombie?
I mean, it's just like, and I'm sorry, I don't think there's YouTube videos you can watch right now that'll show you that you're going to remember.
I'd be scared if there actually was a YouTube video with a real zombie and a guy killing it.
That would be kind of scary.
No, but I guarantee you there's a video of a guy in like full zombie gear that we were talking about earlier. And then one of those like zombie style ballistic gelatin guys. And there's probably a like hour-long video of him being like, you got to hit him right here in this part of the neck. That'll stop him. I'm sorry for using a southern accent, but I guarantee the guy's from the South.
What is that supposed to mean?
Huh?
Either that or Florida,
Yeah.
which is also the South. But
True.
Yeah, but Florida is like, it's like the white-collar South.
Oof. Florida's a whole different South altogether. Like even the South doesn't associate with Florida.
Yeah, the South is like, hey, stop it.
Yeah.
Hey, you over there, stop it.
Like, I mean, you've got, because since I grew up in the South, our big thing is football, basketball, stuff like that. We have the SEC. That's our conference, and you've got like all of these schools that are intertwined with each other. Like you've got Arkansas, you've got LSU, you've got Missouri, you've got Auburn, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, and then you have Florida. And it's something about like all of these schools that I've noticed, they play against each other, usually on a year by year basis. And everybody's like, oh yeah, I remember we beat Florida, or, we beat Alabama this year and Alabama beat us this year. And then here comes Florida and everybody's just quiet about it. Like nobody even wants to deal with that.
That's funny.
It's like, I don't know why, but
maybe we should have let the Spanish keep Florida.
Well, they pretty much have it right now.
The
Cubans. I guess the Cubans have it right now.
There's a difference, Jonathan.
That is true. I'm sorry.
One of them is from Spain and the other's from Cuba.
True.
No, I'm kidding. They're the same.
Wow.
Well, no, it's fine. Just like all white people are the same. Everybody's the same. We're all people. We all can vote.
That's true. We're going political now?
Huh?
So are we going political on
this?
No,
I'm making an observation.
Okay.
Zombies for president.
I'm going to be honest. Once the zombie apocalypse happens and we rebuild society, it's going to be great.
True. And I guess, when you really think about it, we are kind of living in that zombie apocalypse because nobody pays attention to anything.
People are zombies to their reality.
They really are.
Yeah.
This is true.
It's just the only problem is we can't solve that problem.
Nope.
Well, at least not legally.
It's the overstimulation thing again. People are constantly looking for the next source of entertainment.
So
yeah. Is that
people are listening to this podcast right now, procrastinating instead of doing whatever they're supposed to be doing.
That's true.
Hey, if you're gonna listen to us, clean your room while you do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Do something productive.
Yeah.
Lift some weights. Work out.
Yeah. Work out to us.
But make sure that you are actually listening to us, though. Don't let what you're doing.
Don't tune out. We are not background noise.
No.
Pay attention.
Because if you want us to be background noise, we can be background noise, but we are not. So we will get louder and louder every time.
Yeah.
That was like the most anticlimactic.
So is that the moral of the story? Don't be a zombie. Is that the lesson for the day?
Yes.
We had a
lesson of the day. The lesson.
Have we done that before? Did we have a lesson last time?
No, I mean we kind of have had a lesson.
Don't talk about Hillary.
Don't talk about.
Which, if you are listening to this, Hillary, you missed.
You missed. Yeah, I saw your spy.
Oh, this has been fun, guys.
Yep,
I like this one. Like I said, it's something kind of enjoyable. I guarantee you, it probably made no sense.
That's okay.
In this, it's funny because I had been asked the past couple of times, and I probably should have said this at the beginning, but you get to wait till the very end to hear our reason for this. I'd been asked the past couple of times, like, what does our podcast involve? Like, what's it about? And I've never known how to really answer that because it's not about anything, but it's about everything. Are we
Seinfeld?
Ooh.
Oh, no.
No.
That I'm insulted that you just compared us to that.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys
just for that, no soup for you.
You guys don't like Seinfeld?
No.
But you like Cheers?
No.
Oh, you don't like Cheers?
No.
Do you like Cheers?
I like Cheers.
Yeah, you gotta go where
Cheers is not the same thing as Seinfeld.
Seinfeld's better than Cheers.
I never thought Seinfeld was funny. I'm sorry, but I never thought it was funny.
Well, I don't think Jerry Seinfeld is funny, but I think the supporting characters are.
Yeah, see, I never
Because
did.
Jerry Seinfeld is not, he has never made a good joke. All his jokes is like, what's the deal with bananas? They're a thing. Laugh, because whatever.
Well,
He never has a punchline. He just makes an observation that things exist.
When you have millions of dollars, that's basically all you can do.
True.
But it's like, I don't know how to answer people when they ask that question, all except for to say we don't really have a point for this podcast. We do it for the fun of it. Mm-hmm. We will get political, as you have heard in a couple of episodes that we've done so far. We will get serious into conversations, as you've heard in a couple of episodes so far. We will pull out conversations out of our butts like this one.
Yeah.
It's like anything to fill your ear holes with, we will talk about it.
Ear holes.
Gosh.
You had to bring that one back.
I did. I have to bring that one back. But it's all about enjoyment. Mm-hmm. Like in the famous words of Zombieland, enjoy the little things.
Yes.
This is the little thing for us. It's a time for us to get together and talk and just have fun, and hope that whoever listens in is having fun along with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you
just chill with us, just hang out.
Yeah, that's all we ask. You know, we don't have an agenda. We don't have a lesson for anything. We're not going to sit here and try to tell you how to live your life, because we're barely living our lives.
You
as
and
it
Dave
is.
might not have an agenda. I do.
We know your agenda, and we are not having that conversation.
We'll talk about my agenda on another podcast.
A whole separate podcast.
Yeah, it's not going to be like South Park. I learned something today.
Yeah. No.
We did not learn anything today.
No, we did
learned
not.
a lot.
Other than we need to go to IKEA.
We
if
learned
this
a lot
happens, I
about
guess.
IKEA.
Part
Just get a
turn
tank
into
and
a
we're rolling to
castle.
IKEA.
Yeah.
Is there anywhere we can get a tank around here?
Walmart. It's in this tank aisle.
I mean, I know you can order one online.
From Walmart?
I believe so. I think they have it on their.
A tank.
Yeah. If
Maybe
anybody
at least
is
an
listening,
armored vehicle.
if anybody's listening to this and you happen to go to Walmart.com and you see that there's a tank on sale, let us know on our
Send the
website.
link.
Why don't we just 3D print one?
3D print a tank?
Yes.
We do know a guy
And
that can 3D print.
Oh, that's right.
No, we don't.
Saying we do, and you know, he taught me a lot about diesels, which is kind of my point on why we get a diesel, because they run on everything.
You're talking about that guy. I thought you were talking about a different guy.
Who are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. All right, let's wrap.
None of them were listening to this anyway.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, really?
Probably not. So,
Probably not.
Yeah, like I said, this is fun.
As we leave your ear holes.
Yes, as we leave your
stop
ear
repeating
holes,
it. I have to
just
live, I have
remember.
to live with that in my ear holes.
See, it felt good to say it, didn't it?
It didn't. I have to cry later because of this.
It takes some time to get used to, but
I don't want to
you'll
get used to it.
I mean, but again, whoever listens into this, thank you so much. It's been fun. We enjoy it. I enjoy it. So, I guess
I'm Dave.
I'm John,
I'm Noah.
and thank
Good
you
night.
guys.
Yeah.